Welcome to CARICOMP Insider, where high-tech facial recognition meets real-world intelligence.
Notification apps, tools that use AI to digitally undress people in photos, have been downloaded more than 700 million times. That's not a typo. 700 million downloads of software designed to strip someone's image without their consent. That number sits behind a wave of new laws now rolling across the globe. 61 privacy authorities from dozens of countries just endorsed a joint declaration targeting AI-generated deepfakes. Brazil's digital ECA law took effect on March 17, 2026, requiring every operating system and digital service accessible to minors to verify age or face fines up to $9.5 million per violation. Singapore passed its Online Safety Act defining image-based child abuse to include entirely generated or altered images. And 3 U.S. states have pushed legislation demanding age verification baked into operating systems themselves. This isn't just governments catching up to a scandal. It's regulators rewriting what counts as proof that a face or an image of a face is real. So what happens to investigators whose evidence depends on facial comparison when no one can tell a real photo from a fake one anymore? Start with Brazil, because it's the most aggressive model on the table right now. Brazil's Data Protection Authority published guidance walking through 5 distinct generations of age verification technology, from simple, self-reported birthdate fields all the way to biometric and document-based identity checks. The law itself bans self-reported age entirely. Article 9 says you can't just ask someone how old they are. Article 12 demands auditable verification. But then Article 37 turns around and bans mass surveillance mechanisms. You have to verify identity rigorously, but you can't build a surveillance system to do it. That tension isn't a bug in the legislation. It's the central, unsolved problem in every country trying to regulate this space. Meanwhile, NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, revised its digital identity guidelines specifically to address deepfake fraud. Why? Because the Treasury Department's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network reported a jump in deepfakes being used to beat identity and authentication controls at banks. People were submitting synthetic faces to open accounts, pass verification checks, and move money. NIST's National Cybersecurity Center of Excellence then drafted a playbook for financial institutions adopting mobile driver's licenses for customer identity verification. 29 industry and government partners helped build it. The message to banks is blunt. The old way of checking a photo against a face on a screen doesn't hold up when the photo might never have been a real person. For anyone doing investigative work, this regulatory shift lands hard. Automated detection systems still struggle to tell the difference between consensual adult imagery and non-consensual synthetic imagery. That technical gap is pushing demand toward human-supervised auditable facial comparison workflows. Courts and regulators are moving past, "I searched this face in a database and got a match." They want to know where the reference image came from. They want to know what tool ran the comparison. They want documentation of the method and the false positive rate. Ad hoc image searching, running a photo through a consumer tool with no record of the process, is starting to look like negligence, not investigation. Most people assume the deepfake problem is about fakes getting better. It's actually about real images losing their authority. When any photo can be synthetic, every photo needs a chain of custody, and that changes the rules for everyone who uses a face as evidence. So, governments around the world are writing new laws because AI can now generate faces indistinguishable from real ones. That means investigators can't just show a photo match anymore. They need to prove where the image came from, how the comparison was done, and why the method is reliable. Watch for courts to start rejecting facial comparison evidence that lacks documented methodology. It's already heading that direction. The full story's in the description if you want the deep dive.
Now you know something most people in this industry don't. Use it. And when you're ready to put it to work, caracomp.com. We'll see you tomorrow.